Thunder, like you've never imagined.
Good morning, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm David Steele, and well, I would show you my truck, but the light's just gone to green, but here's my truck. Today I am back in the Ford CL-900. And what's interesting about this truck, well, there's a few things that are interesting about this truck, but this particular model, this is described by the developer as the super short model.
Teeny tiny.
I'm just going to negotiate this complicated junction or intersection. I think I want to be in the right-hand lane. Yeah, I think we're good here. Okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and show you the truck from outside. Yeah, this thing is tiny.
Can you even reach?
It's also extremely sensitive to control input.
Petite.
In the corner we go. So, we're in San Francisco. I'm going to go ahead and get the windows up because it's kind of noisy for me and I'm trying to talk over it. That's much better. Okay. Yeah, so this is San Francisco and this is the new San Francisco and it's beautiful. It's very, whoa, steering. It's very beautiful at night. It has a bit of a performance hit. There's a lot going on in the game, and it suffers for it, but it is beautiful. And by happy coincidence, is where this truck spent most of its original working life. So what we have here today is, yes, we've got what's called a super short 4x2 CL-900. This is Ford's last cabover. It was first manufactured, I believe, in 1977, and it was I think it was removed from sale in the early 1990s. I may have those exact dates wrong, and I've got a note of them somewhere, but not immediately to hand. And look at it; it's so tiny,
Short.
and so splendid in its new yellow paint scheme.
Like you've seen it a million times.
Let's go ahead and move forward just a little bit here. We've just been trundling around San Francisco for a bit. So a couple of noteworthy points about the truck. I mean, one is, yes, did I mention it was super short and super tiny? It is very small. And part of that is it's very sensitive. It's quite a tall truck, and when you change direction, or when you give it some steering input, it's very, very sensitive to that. And especially if you jump from something like a long wheelbase Kenworth W900, or Peterbilt 389, this thing feels very anxious on the road. Let's get my speed back up to 30, I think. And secondly, it's an unusual specification truck. This is kind of modeled on a mid to late 80s spec truck. So we've got, I'm going to turn right here actually. We've got the standard engine for the truck. One that it came with. Everything else was an option, and that is the Cummins L10 270 formula. It's relatively low revving 10-litre engine. It's an inline six, but nothing too fancy going on there. Should we turn right here? No, I don't think we have to turn right, I suppose. Can't go left. Okay. So, nothing too fancy, good grief. This has given me memories of driving around San Francisco for real. It was a lot busier though. So, it's a 270 horsepower rated engine, okay. It is 860 foot-pounds of torque. So, it doesn't have that much torque, but it doesn't have that much power, but it's small. And it's paired up today with a 4-speed automatic, with an Allison 4-speed. It's a 740D. It's an unusual transmission to be fitted to a 70s or 80s vintage truck because generally they didn't use automatics back then. They weren't considered to be very reliable, they weren't considered to be very tough. Well, yes, so it's an unusual spec truck. Now, automatics have their place. It can be very useful for certain kinds of hauling duties. And principally these, livestock is a big one. Livestock appreciate you being smooth. It's got my speed up to 50, I think. Chemicals and fuels, again, if you can be smooth, you stop the fuel from slopping around inside the tank, and that's also useful. Speaking of fuel, we're going to need some soon. So those two use cases, yeah, there's a reason why you would use an auto. Excuse me. Now the other reason, because the truck has spends most of its life in the city. Stop-go traffic. I mean, man, that's a killer on a clutch pedal, or a clutch foot, I should say. And that's the reason why this particular truck is been fitted with the Allison. Now the Allison box, this one I think it's rated to, well, depending where you look, but it's somewhere over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. So we're within spec here with this particular engine. I'm going to go ahead and just turn right. I'm just exploring San Francisco right now. We will pick up a job. Maybe we'll pick up a job, and we'll do some hauling. So for stop-go traffic, the box works great. I mean, you don't want to be pumping a clutch, and with its standard transmission is a 9-speed, but I think I want to be in the right-hand lane here. Wow, sensitive it is to well, basically everything. So standard transmission is a 9-speed direct, which we're not using today. Like I say, we're using the automatic. You know, let's see if they've got any cargo that I can tank. Okay. We're going between sort of 0 to 30. You've got to change gear a lot, and that might be in maybe 7th, 6th or 7th, or possibly even 8th at that sort of speed. Well, that means you've got to change gear 5 to 7 times, and that's just through one speed change. You go up and down the gears, up and down. Yeah, that's hard on a driver's left knee. So some people would have spec'd the Allison. Of course, one of the problems with the Allison, or the Allison transmissions in general, and I say problem, one of the things to think about, that transmission fluid is expensive, and it needs to be replaced on an Allison set interval with Allison transmission fluid. If you don't, you're out of warranty, and so you've got to bear that in mind. There is the potential for good fuel consumption, low fuel consumption, if you are cruising, because if you're using one of these trucks for the city work, cruising mileage is not going to be really a big factor in the running costs for the thing. Instead, your consumption when idle is going to be a big factor. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, we've got that run. It's a little basic for a trailer, though. It's about in keeping with what we might want to do, which is sort of local runs. Local runs for local people. Let's see, what does this one weigh? 16,000 pounds. I think that's not a bad trip, and we've got 9 minutes to be able to pick that up. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab this, I think. At least if we're going to ride around in the auto Ford, we really want to do something productive. Let's put it in gear first. Okay, there we go. Jump back in the cabin. I guess we'll use the hallways. I'll go ahead and pick up the cargo. That's there it is. It's hidden behind. Obviously, you're going to have some engineering stuff at Wilbert. Okay, well, maybe you will. It's a good distribution center. So yeah, the transmission fluid is expensive, and it needs to be replaced on a fairly regular basis. Okay. How much do you value your driver's knee? I can barely see behind me when I look out the window. I don't know. Having had some knee issues in the past, the ability to drive an auto is very useful. Well, that was easy. Didn't even drop the truck's ride height. Let's take another look at this thing. So yeah, it is tiny. That's actually kind of fitting. That length of trailer seems to work pretty well with the length of truck we've got going on here. Oh, we must be in California. Yeah, so a fairly basic truck. It's tall. There's a few benefits to being tall. I mean, mostly you get to see a little bit more of the road. There's a couple of disadvantages too. Mostly your center of gravity is a little high. And this is also coupled with the fact that the Ford CL-900 has an airbag on the cabin at every corner. So on the one hand, that gives you a really soft, supple ride, which the driver really appreciates. Makes it a lot more comfortable for those longer haul trips, but makes it soft, makes it roly-poly. So this thing, cabovers have a lot of roll anyway. If you try and tackle a corner too quickly, this one's even worse than normal. Well, luckily with only 270 horsepower, that's less of an issue here. Transmission today, the 740D is a direct drive box, and we've got a 3.87 final drive. So our top speed is somewhere around about, I think, 60 miles an hour, give or take. But we're in California, so you don't need to go more than 55 anyway in a semi. So we're all good. Okay, done that. Guess we'll turn right here. Something on the left that I haven't investigated yet. That looks like it's a recruitment agency. Can I see that? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll not get that today. Get that some other time. Right, we could turn right on red. One of America's greatest benefits to civilization is be able to turn right on a red. So it's interesting that that we would configure a truck to be like this. So principal use is, well, livestock, auto hauling, where potentially the 4x2 you prioritize maneuverability and agility over payload, over cargo. So we wouldn't necessarily expect to be hauling 40,000 pounds of cargo with this truck, and if we were to, I mean, you could probably do it, but it's not the ideal choice. So for short hauls, lots of city traffic, not the heaviest cargo, this thing should be, or is, spec'd up nicely for it. I'm going to have to get some fuel, and I didn't, and I committed to turning left here. I suppose I could go straight on if I thought there was a fuel station up there, and I don't think there is. Alright, well, we're going to have to... I guess we'll keep driving till the low fuel light comes on, assuming it's got one, which it may not have. So we may run out. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay. Yeah, so you need something that is maneuverable, and livestock hauling, yes, farms are not generally made with semis in mind. You may have to go down a rough road, so having airbag suspension on the cabin's very appreciated. You can have some tight corners. The trailer may not be that long. There are some farms in the ATS world where something like Red Thunder, the long wheelbase Kenworth, that's a real hassle to get in and out of that place. I mean, unless you enjoy doing 73-point turns, in which case it's great fun. But having something as small and nimble like this is a real benefit. Would I want to be blasting along the Texas interstate at 75 miles an hour in an extremely short 4x2? Possibly not. Would I be able to with 270 horsepower? Again, possibly not. Oh, which lane do I need? The right lane, I think? Let's listen to what Doug has to say when we get up to the direction. I guess we're going to be in the right hand side. I'm also speeding. I don't want to be speeding here. Don't get busted by the California Highway Patrol. Do a California lane change there. It's okay. Spend time in California. It's fine. So it's a little busy at 55. It's doing 1700 revs, and okay, I mean, I would suppose that back in the day this was probably more acceptable than it would be today. You would have a much taller gearbox, but you'd also have a truck that delivers more torque low down. Okay. Does certainly sound busy, and I don't have a trip computer to be able to tell what my fuel capacity is left in the tank, but let's try this. Well, my fuel hasn't gone red on the sort of display we've got going on there, so that must be good, right? Maybe. Merge left. Go. Okay, but did I mention how tiny this little truck is? It is very small. Whoa. And for a trailer that is not that much longer than some of the long wheelbase trucks, it does seem very, very fitting. I'm all over the road here. The tiniest of control inputs has me darting all over the road. Whoa, all over the road. That was close. On multiple counts. Oh god. Speed. Speed, speed. Yep. Brake, brake, brake. I guess we can use ETOL. I guess we can use this. Speed to 25. Do not stop. Toll of 27. Okay, fair enough. And my fuel's gone to red. Okay. Well, that was good to know. What? I didn't hit anything. Well, that seems a little harsh to get, but maybe I did run into something, I just didn't feel it. We go ahead and merge right here. Don't really want to be in the left-hand lane unless I have to be. And I think I'm going to bring my speed to 40. Take a sip of water whilst I... Oh wow, that's pretty. That is, look at the reflections of the landscape opposite there, how smooth the ocean is. That is pretty. I'm driving along this shack of the road though. Okay, let's try and get myself a sip of water. Here we go. Okay. Speed's picking up a little bit. Let's use a bit of engine brake. There we go. Wow, that engine brake works very well. That's interesting. Oh, maybe my speed was actually set to be 40 with the cruise control, so now it's at 45, I think. Okay. Now the game's giving me quite a bit of jank right now. The frame rate's not the smoothest. There was a hardware change I made recently that's helped things, but it's still not as smooth as it could be. Now, but it's playable, and there's a lot going on. I mean, look in the distance. We've just seen a semi pulling a double, sort of this highway on the left here. It's just okay, you can just about see it. So it's keeping track of a lot of objects. There's a lot going on in the background, so give it its grace. There's a lot going on, and I'm looking forward to the new game engine that will hopefully optimize things for a multi-core chip. But anyway, this truck's a lot of fun. Okay, there's a Jeep merging in my left quarter. I'm going to merge in front of it. He's just 1 mile away from a transmission failure anyway. There we go. Okay. I mean, what can I say? It's handling this load, it's handling these roads as well as I could have hoped. And yeah, did I mention how sensitive the thing was to control input? Because if it didn't, it sure is. And it's so ducky. It's so tiny. It's so little. Can you even reach? Now, see, now I'm preempting what my voiceover artist would be saying. Well, I think we can turn off the headlights right now. Let's put them onto side lights or stage 1 or whatever it's called. And let's just enjoy the rebuild. I think it's phase 3 California and phase 4 that SCS are working on. And it is beautiful. The downside is it has an impact on performance, but it is beautiful. All the detail. Look at this marina hotel complex down here. If we jumped onto Google Maps, I'm sure we would find this I don't know, is it a rich person's play area? I'm not sure what that is. It's beautiful though. Oh, what's this poster for? Is it wider than you expect? Drive casual, we just passed a cop, but we're not speeding, so he's not going to get me a fine. And we must be running out of fuel. I didn't think about that for just a second. Can we stop sometime? This is going to be a long walk. Anywhere I'm coming up to? Nothing. I got a bad feeling about this. Well, we might be okay, but I really think we are going to be walking, boys and girls. Yeah, I should have planned that a lot better. Well, you might say I should have just planned that. I don't think there's much I can really do. I mean, I can drop my speed, and there is a fuel station coming up, but that's pretty much our destination, which is 38 miles away. So I'll drop my speed to 50. We're going up a hill right now. It will save a little bit. I mean, the slower you drive, the longer your fuel will last, but we are pretty much running on diesel fumes right now. Drop my speed again to 45. I mean, who doesn't like playing the gas game? Okay, well, if you're Sandy and you're listening and you've raised your hand, put it down because we know. Yeah, maybe we can make it with the contents of this tank. I'm just not going to count on it. So I'm going to have to hold everyone up by driving along at slow speeds. Bit of jank there again. Okay. Entering Hopland. Oh, there's this fuel station here, and they don't have anything for semis. I guess they're getting fuel delivered. Okay. Fortunate. That would have been nice.
Go straight.
That would have saved my bacon, so to speak. But it looks like we can do 35 in top gear. Let's just check that. Yep, in 4th gear. And again, yeah, that's we're 18 miles away, and we've got a sliver of fuel showing in the tank. It's pretty much on empty, looking at the dashboard, and that's what I'm going to go with. But vineyards, but we are pretty much there.
Go straight.
I'm going to divert. Okay, I've got plenty of time, so I'm going to divert to the right. And see if I can get some motion lotion. How do I get there? Okay, well I can't actually turn right here. This is going under the highway, I think. So, okay, I see what I'll do. We'll exit right, and then as we spin round on ourselves, we'd normally be turning right. I'm going to go ahead and turn left and visit the fuel station. We may have made this by the skin of my teeth. But like I say, who doesn't like playing the gas game? And right now this feels like this is advanced level.
Get ready to turn right.
Because I could still run out in the next mile or so. That would be very embarrassing. Let's coast as much as we can. A little bit of power as we go up the hill here. Downshifting me there. Turn left here, going to ignore Doug. Oh, burger joint. We're right round the corner from where we need to be. Yes, I know, Doug. Okay, it's clear on the left. It's clear on the right. Squeeze the power to get moving. Okay, come on. That's it, that's it, that's it. And then feathering the power as we go down this little gradient. Got a stop sign. Stop signs are a pain because they... Oh, wait. We made it. What do you know? Thank goodness for that. Would have been so embarrassing. I would never have lived it down. Okay. Something else about the Allison is you should not stop it when you're in gear. I think the tank capacity is 150 gallons with the Ford. So let's see how much we put in. I'm going to guess we're going to put 145 gallons in. Okay. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought. We had enough to get to our destination, but not much further. Right. Well, gas game, I would say that's probably intermediate as opposed to advanced. We had like 7 and a bit gallons left, which is enough for a few miles. And we don't really want to run the tanks dry, or to be fair, we don't want to run them that low either. You never know what junk you're going to get. It's going to clog your fuel filter, but it's there if you need it. Right, we don't have to be quite so baby with the throttle now. Except for the fact that we're in this cute little Californian suburb. Very in keeping with my time spent in the Golden State. Is it Golden State? Is that what it's called? I think so. Sunshine guaranteed for all. Yeah. Right. Well, I would say that this has been a successful trip so far. I suppose another area where a 4x2 was traditionally used in the late 70s, early 80s is for certain kinds of machinery deliveries where the job site was in a fairly inaccessible place. And the problem you may have there is you actually have to have the carrying capacity to be able to pull the cargo.
Keep right.
So something like this, with only 860 foot-pounds of torque, yeah, you've got fairly sure gearing, but you might find that you're not able to haul 40 or 50,000 pounds of equipment on a low loader. But the automatic has another trick up its sleeve with a torque converter, and that can be very useful in getting things going. Yes, it's going to chew through a lot of fuel, but if you're moving 60,000 pounds of cargo, I mean, what did you really expect? I wonder what my mileage was on this trip. I don't know how efficient this combination would have been. And I absolutely could have done this trip in a conventional truck or a bigger cabover. It would have been completely fine. But then where's the fun in that? Okay. Let's see, what have we got here? I don't really feel like that maneuver. That one might be fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I know I could absolutely manage. Why are we not moving? Okay, I put the parking brake on, you numpty. I absolutely could maneuver into that space, but I don't really want this video to be any longer than it needs to be. I want it to be, well, let's just say, super short. Right, everyone, well, thanks so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed today's trip. It was a little rough there where I stopped. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed the ride. And let's see how well we did. So we covered 168 miles and we only burned 23.4 gallons of fuel. That is, that's not a lot. That's a little bit over 7 miles per gallon. So, all things considered, the little Ford did pretty good. Yeah, it's a light cargo. I'm really sure that a modern Peterbilt or Kenworth with an MX-11 and the suitably tall gearing could have done that trip and maybe saved you 5 gallons. Who knows? Well, hope you enjoyed it. And if you have, you know exactly what to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, everyone. Goodbye.